Companies are pouring back into our nation. Automobile companies from Japan and other nations are pouring back in. Many of the great auto companies are coming back into Michigan. They're coming back into Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, North Carolina. You have not so many jobs left. We have to get some more workers over here, I think, Maryland. We have to do something. But we have automobile companies and other companies pouring back in. And you had the greatest year you've ever had in the history of this state. This is a great state, but you had your best economic year that you've ever had, so that's great. Our nation was made of vibrant and strong, and it's got to be the most powerful, the best. It really was made with American manufacturing. And you know that a previous administration said, manufacturing's gone, you're going to have to take a magic wand to bring it back. Well, that was wrong. The previous administration, they allowed foreign nations to plunder our wealth and to pillage our factories. They sold out our workers and they hollowed out our industrial heartland. But those days are over. And I have to tell you, it's not just the previous administration. It's been many administrations, in all fairness to President Obama. It's been many administrations. They allowed it to happen. They allowed our factories to close, our workers really to not have jobs. We created jobs for other places, for other nations, and we sacrificed so many, 60,000 plants, millions and millions of jobs were lost during, I call them the stupid years, but now we're back into the really smart years. We had the smart years, now we're the really smart years. They were the stupid years. What they were doing was incredible. NAFTA, one of the world's worst trade deals ever. I know a couple of others, we've been involved in them too. We created jobs for other places, for other nations, and we sacrificed so many, 60,000 plants, millions and millions of jobs were lost during, I call them the stupid years, but now we're back into the really smart years. We had the smart years, now we're the really smart years. They were the stupid years. What they were doing was incredible. NAFTA, one of the world's worst trade deals ever. I know a couple of others, we've been involved in them too. World Trade Organization, that's a beauty. You don't know as much about that, but NAFTA was a disaster for this country, and we're going to be replacing that very soon, hopefully with the USMCA, and that's going to be something really special. It's going to keep jobs. One of the things I said to start off, I don't want people leaving this country, meaning companies. I don't want to incentivize companies to leave, fire their people, build product, sell the product over in our country, no tax whatsoever. So we end up with no jobs, no factories, no taxes, no nothing. It's not going to happen anymore, and it can't happen under our new agreement. I want to personally thank Marilyn and Lockheed Martin for supporting this groundbreaking agreement. What you've done is really great. You've been calling everybody, I hope, right? I've heard you have. You know, the wake was left. They're calling, can you get her off our back? That's good. That's what I want. That's why I told Marilyn, see if you can do it, if you want to do it. We need help from the Democrats to get it done because it's political season. And I say it's a bipartisan. Let it be a bipartisan bill. I don't want credit for it. Let it be a bipartisan bill, the USMCA. For years, members of Congress have demanded a replacement for NAFTA. Now they finally have the best replacement that they could ever even imagine. The farmers can't believe it. The manufacturers can't believe it. Even Maryland, the unions can't believe it. It's good for everybody. So on behalf of our nation's loyal, hardworking citizens, I'm calling on Congress to pass USMCA and send it to my desk immediately for signature. We shouldn't be playing around. And every day that goes by, it gets more and more political because we get closer and closer to the election. And maybe it's harder. It shouldn't be hard. I mean, the day before, you should sign this the day before the election. But view it as a bipartisan bill. And it shows that Congress is doing something other than wasting time on the witch hunt and the nonsense that they work so hard at. They work so hard. If they worked 1/100th as hard on immigration, it would be solved in about 15 minutes. It's just a waste of time. Amazing. The USMCA is also a tremendous a tremendous victory for, in particular, farmers, because we have had such support. To help dairy farmers right here in Wisconsin, the USMCA stops unfair trade barriers from Canada. People love Canada. I love Canada. But there were a few countries that took advantage of us more than Canada. They were charging us tariffs of 297%. They wanted to keep it under 300 because it sounded better. 297%. Nobody knew that. The farmers knew that. They knew it very well, because essentially what they're doing is they're saying you can't sell your product in Canada because the tariff was so high. You couldn't sell it in Canada. Under our trade agreement, we will see significant increases in exports of Wisconsin agriculture, supporting jobs throughout the state. It's going to have a tremendous impact on your agriculture and on your manufacturing. Once fully implemented, the USMCA will bring up to 600,000 jobs to our shores, and it's probably going to be well over 1.2 million jobs. And here at DERCO, you'll be able to expand your commerce with Canadian customers and suppliers, and they'll be buying your product. Now they have an incentive to buy your product. Before this deal, they had no incentive whatsoever to buy product in the United States.